Jesus says, "Lo, I stand at the door and knock." Jesus is knocking on the door of your heart today.
Another curious fact: God has not only deferred execution, but at immense cost has provided means for the safe exercise of mercy. You know, it is naturally a dangerous thing to bestow mercy. There is so much danger lest it should weaken the energy of law and encourage men to trample it down in hope of impunity. But God has provided a glorious testimony in favor of law, going to show that it is in his heart to sustain it at every sacrifice. He could not forgive sin until his injured and insulted law is honored before the universe. Having done all this in the sacrifice of his own Son on Calvary, he can forgive without fear of consequences, provided only that each candidate for pardon shall first be penitent. Now, therefore, God's heart of mercy is opened wide, and no fear of evil consequences from gratuitous pardon disturbs the exercise of mercy. Before atonement, justice stood with brandished sword, demanding vengeance on the guilty. But by and through atoning blood, God rescued his law from peril. He lifted it up from beneath the impious foot of the transgressor and set it on high in safety and glory, and now opens wide the blessed door of mercy. Now he comes in the person of his Spirit and invites you in. He comes to your very heart and room, sinner, to offer you the freest possible pardon for all your sin. Do you hear that gentle rap at your door? Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and sup with him, and he with me. Look at those hands. Have they not been pierced? Do you know those hands? Do you know where they have been to be nailed through and through? Mark those locks, wet with the dew. Ah, how long have they been kept without, in waiting for the door to open? Who is it that comes? Is it the sheriff of justice? Has he come with his armed men to drag you away to execution? Oh no, no, but one comes with a cup of mercy in his hands. He approaches your prison gate, his eye wet with a tear of compassion, and through the diamond of your grate he extends that cup of mercy to your parched lips. Do you see that visage, so marred more than any man's? And you are only the more fully set to do evil. And you are only the more fully set to do evil. Ah, young man, alas, young woman, is such your heart towards the God of mercy? Where can we find a parallel to such guilt? Can it be found anywhere else in the universe but in this crazy world? The scenes and transactions of earth must excite a wonderful interest in heaven. Angels desire to look into these things. Oh, how the whole universe look on with inquisitive wonder to see what Christ has done, and how the sinners for whom he has suffered and done all requite his amazing love. When they see you set your heart only the more fully to do evil, they stand back aghast at such unparalleled wickedness. What can be done for such sinners but leave them to the madness and doom of their choice? God has no other alternative. If you will abuse him, he must execute his law, and its fearful sentence of eternal death. Suppose it were a human government, and a similar state of facts should occur. Who does not see that government might as well abdicate at once as forbear to punish? So of God, although he has no pleasure in the sinner's death, and although he will never slay you because he delights in it, yet how can he do otherwise than execute his law if he would sustain it? And how can he excuse himself for any failure in sustaining it? Would you stand out against him and flatter yourself that he will fail of executing his awful sentence upon you? O sinner, there is no possibility that you can pass the appointed time without execution. Human laws may possibly fail of execution. God's laws can fail never. And who is it that says, "Their judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not"? Remarks. 1. Let me ask professors of religion, do you think you believe these truths? Let me suppose that here is a father and also a mother in this house, and you have a child whom you know and admit to be under sentence of death. You don't know, but this is the very day and hour set for his execution. How much do you feel? Does the knowledge and belief of such facts disturb your repose? Now your theory is that the case of your child is infinitely worse than this. A death eternal in hell, you know, must be far more awful than any public execution on earth. If your own son were under sentence for execution on earth, how would you feel? Professing to believe him under the far more awful sentence to hell, how do you in fact feel?